Alright guys, what's up? I'm back. I wanted to put out a video relating to the last video I just posted about Charlie Kirk. Kind of go more explanation of how I said, again, I agree with Trump on 80-20, 80% I agree, 20% I disagree, as well as kind of going into a little bit of like Ben Shapiro and stuff. But it'd be kind of a little bit more like, more, I guess, different tone today and stuff like that. I'm going to bring a little bit more energy as well as, I think, again, it's time for me, I'm going to be myself. And I'm kind of, I like to joke around and all that stuff and kind of have a lot of energy. So, let's go ahead. Let me get right into it. So, with Donald Trump, what I agree with him on most things is like the economy, tariffs, um, as well as like kind of other things. We'll just say like kind of small item things. What I don't really agree on, well, actually, let me kind of go back a little bit to what I agree with him on. Again, like tariff wise, tariffs. If a country's going to tariff us, we have the right to tariff them back. We've been getting taken advantage of by like China and all these other countries. It's time for them to start paying their fair share. If they want us to go ahead and, again, if they want us to pay a large amount of money, in tariffs and stuff like that, then again, we have the right to charge them a good amount as well or match them. Again, it's not fair for the United States of America to always be taking a brunt of everything. We as a country don't deserve that. We deserve to actually be able to be on a level playing field as everyone else. Again, if you're going to charge XYZ, we'll charge XYZ. That's kind of how things should work, and that's how things should work. As well as what I agree with Trump on, like economy wise, is like, yes, we need to get our economy back into shape. Our economy lately, and even still right now, and this is a thing too that will kind of fall into a little bit of what I disagree with Trump on. But our economy has been so bad, especially after Biden took over. I would say Trump's first presidency, you can see gas prices dropping, food prices dropping. Everything just starts to, again, kind of come down to like a point where it was like, okay, life is extremely manageable. At the time, I owned a 2013 Hyundai Elantra, okay? And I was able to fill that car up for like $20. $20. I could pull out a $20 bill out of my wallet, and that would fill me up from empty to full. $20. Today, I mean, yes, I don't have the same vehicle today, but a lot more larger of a vehicle, bigger gas tanks, stuff like that. And again, we're not going to get into the full details of that, but right now, and even under Joe Biden, but even right this second, it takes about $40, if not more, to fill up, which is a lot. And it's not that much bigger of a gas tank. It's like, what, maybe 3, maybe 4 more gallons. So it's not like that much more. And at that time, we'll just say, again, average gas price, maybe $2 a gallon, 2, 4, 6, 8. So we'd be looking at about $28, versus right now it's costing way more than that, because we're talking the average gas price right now is well over $3 a gallon. And the thing is, then too, I wasn't paying $2. I was paying more like $1.70, maybe $1.80 max. But I think it was like always like around like $1.70-ish. So, again, gas prices then were a lot cheaper, as well as, again, food. Go to grocery store, go shopping. You can grab so much for such little cost, versus right now, and even, again, under Biden, it was so much more. You get you get less items, but you're spending way more money. It was really insane, and that's just, and as well as, I would compare like receipts and stuff like that, doing like Walmart orders, stuff like that, and you could tell the difference, spending more but getting less. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things I agree with Trump on, but I guess let me go ahead and let's just get right into, I guess, what I don't agree with Trump on. What I don't agree with Trump on, number one, is abortion. Trump, I think, is what, like on a 20-week or 16-week ban or something like that, like on abortion wise. I don't believe in abortion, period. The only time I believe in abortion is for I guess we'll just say sexual, uh, forcing sexual, forcing sexual act onto someone. Again, try to stay away from the R word, not to get censored or anything. So, uh, if that's like the only time I agree to a point, but you have to do it within a certain point. If you got forcibly, get sex was forced upon you, and you're trying to get an abortion, I think you have what, in my mind, I'd say no more than like 7 to 10 weeks max, or not even 10 weeks. I'd say 7, maybe 9. Anything past that point, again, if you didn't get it done, I'm just going to be straight up honest with you. It's sad to say, but it's kind of on you at that point. I've had bad things happen to me, and I didn't, just wait around and, when like, oh, well, hey, I'm going to get this done, when I like, weeks, months down the road. Like, no, I can understand taking a day, maybe even a week to conduct yourself. I completely understand. Even maybe 2 weeks, sure. But getting up to that 9, 10 weeks and stuff like that, and you still haven't, are finally now like, oh yeah, I need to get this done. You should have did it earlier. Again, there's no reason why you waited that long. But again, I'm not going to go in the full realm of that stuff. But yes, again, I don't fully agree with Trump on I think it's 16. I think that's where he's at. Maybe it is 20, but again, I'm not so sure. I know it's between 16 and 20 week realm. Again, I think that's too late. At that point, again, you pretty much are harming a baby at that point, and that's my opinion. Now, going into other things is, like technically what the economy is going through right now. The economy, as much as I love Trump, or don't really love him, I'd say I just really like him. He's, again, in my opinion, I voted for him and such, and there was a reason. I'll be honest, again, I voted for him because I voted for him the first time around, and I will say the first time around when he was president, he did, I think, a way better job than this time. Right now, the economy is not shaping up. The economy is not shaping up to what he's saying and what he's trying to make it to be. Food cost is still insane. The food prices have not changed whatsoever. The costs for bread, water, milk, eggs, stuff like that have not really changed much. And this is the thing, I live in Florida. I'll be 100% transparent on that part too. I live in Florida. Like I said, none of the food costs has changed, as well as gas prices haven't really changed. And here in Florida, our gas prices are normally cheaper than anywhere else. I believe it's just because we're so close to the Gulf and stuff like that, maybe transporting costs, stuff like that. But our gas prices are normally the cheapest out of anywhere. And our gas prices are not that cheap. We're literally hovering at the bare minimum of like, what is it, like $2.85 at the lowest then, and that's maybe for like a couple days. But I would say on average, we're hovering right around about $3.10, $3.15 per gallon. That's still pretty high. For me, I was expecting when Trump come into office, maybe, after a couple months, our gas prices would come down to, probably, maybe I was hoping maybe like $2.60, $2.50, somewhere around in that range. And again, this is just for, again, going based off of 87, your regular 87, not like 93 or 89 that you see, just going off base 87. And like I said, right now it's hovering, I would say averaging about $3.10, $3.15. And it hasn't changed. And it's like, okay, well, that hasn't changed. Food prices hasn't changed. Rent and stuff like that, that's the thing too. I mean, I'm not looking to rent or anything. I don't need to rent, but I always just like to look just to see, just in case, things change. Rent prices haven't changed. That's still the same. Or if it did, it's like barely a little bit of change. It came down a little bit, but it's not much. Electricity costs, that hasn't changed. Still super high. Yeah, I mean, it's just the cost of things right now are very concerning. It frustrates me with Trump to where I do sit there. I'm like, man, Was it right for me to vote for him? Was it even right for me to vote for Trump? Because at this point, I'll be honest, I wouldn't have voted for Hillary, or not Hillary, sorry, Kamala. Wouldn't have voted for Kamala, because I just don't care for the person, and no, yeah, I wouldn't have done it. Sorry, not even Joe Biden. Sorry, you're not getting my vote either. But, I just think kind of where we're at right now is just like, again, the things I do agree with, which I'll go back into, which just kind of popped in my head, is like immigration. I 100% agree with Trump on immigration. I'm glad he's taking care of stuff like that. Happy. That's what I also voted for him too on. So again, the things I agree with: immigration, economy, tariffs, as well as, again, like law enforcement stuff too. Like trying to give law enforcement the power to do the right things that they're supposed to do. I 100% agree with him on that, and I stand behind him on that. Again, where I'm kind of falling short on it, again, is just, again, don't agree with him on is definitely abortions. Just think they're not good in general. As well as, again, just the way the economy is being handled this time around. It's not being handled, in my opinion, the best way. I think we're a country that's not going in the right path that we need to at this moment, like, especially economy wise, as well as I don't agree with him, like with the whole Iran thing. I'm just going to be 100% honest. In my opinion, this is what I believe in. I believe, we need to stay out of these countries' businesses. They're their own country. They should be able to do whatever they want in their own country. As long as it's in their own country and they're doing the things that they're doing, that's fine. I could care less. We don't need to be starting wars or just getting in the middle of these countries, or again, doing this type of things that start wars when it's none of our business. That's kind of a problem I've had with the United States for the longest time. Again, I'm born and raised here, and I do love my country, but we like to meddle into other countries' businesses that we don't need to be doing. Like, I'll be honest, if I'm my own country, say I'm a country, Iran or Italy or some type of, I'm a leader of that country, I would tell the United States straight up, we don't even think about it. Leave us alone. We will do whatever we want in our country. You do whatever you want in your country. I care less what you think and stuff like that, again. And as well as if we're going to talk about nuclear weapons, all that stuff. So the United States is allowed to have nuclear weapons. Israel's allowed to have nuclear weapons, but not other countries. So we try to denuclearize, Russia a while back. Because this was like a long time ago. We were trying to get talks with NATO, trying to get them in and stuff like that. And as well as trying to get them to give up their nukes. And they didn't. And I'll be honest, I would say this for Russia. That's good for you. You should not, again, you can't tell other countries to get rid of their nukes if you're not going to get rid of them. That's literally, that's being two-faced. You can't sit there and be like, oh, you do this, but don't do it. As well as, again, I love my country. I love this country, but it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, oh, well, you better do this, or hey, we're going to do this, that, and this. No, leave those countries alone. Whatever they decide to do. I'm not talking about like the whole Russia and Ukraine thing, because there's a war going between there. And again, they're just trying to play middle ground. Like, hey, let's try to end this. I understand with that. I completely agree with that. But trying to get in other countries' business, tell them that they can't have nukes or they have to do certain things, this, and that. No, not right, not fair. Just, not handling it. But back on topic, though, is, like I said, those are things I agree and disagree with Trump on. Now, on to Ben Shapiro. To me, with Ben Shapiro, he has kind of like an attitude, and he also is kind of that person that believes Israel. He's like an Israel first type person. He's not a United States American type person. He's an Israel type person first. Put Israel first. I'm sorry, but I don't want somebody taking over Charlie's legacy that is Israel first and not America first. Charlie stood for America first, not Israel first. As well as, again, Charlie was a lot more respectful than Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro at times has an attitude, and as well as is not afraid to kind of degrade people. Or not really degrade, but I would say, well, yeah, degrade, but as well as kind of just, he's willing to say things that are just not, in my opinion, again, something that Charlie would say. As well as, Ben is just, he's one of those guys too that's like, in my opinion, again, I feel bad for this whole Ukraine and Russia war that's happening, but we don't need to fund it. We don't need to keep pumping money into it. We need to keep our money out of it. We don't need to keep putting our country farther into debt, keep devaluing our dollar because we want to keep pumping money into a war that neither of those two countries want to end it. And that's the thing that Ben believes in. Ben believes that we should keep sending money on over to Ukraine to help fund the war for Ukraine. I'm sorry, but again, we don't need to do that. Again, at the end of the day, Ben is not America first. Ben is Israel first, and as well as, in my opinion, it probably would be Ukraine first before America, before the United States of America. So that's kind of where I wanted to go with this whole video, is kind of pick up where I left off yesterday, tell you what I believe in, tell you, again, what I think, my opinions, again, discussions that we should be having as people, as humans, instead of violence. Again, I highly disagree with violence. I do not, again, advocate for violence at all. I think it's shameful, as well as, again, it's very disgraceful when people try to always bring violence into things instead of just talking things out. It's stupid. Let's just be real, it's stupid. But, like I said, I'm a no-go for Ben Shapiro. If you're a Charlie supporter, I would be the same way. If you're just like me, again, you really watched Charlie, you really got to hear his message and what he believes in, and again, his actual true, again, America first. You will not like Ben Shapiro. You will not sit there and stand for Ben Shapiro taking over his legacy. Again, Ben is Israel first. I can 100% guarantee you that he is Israel first. But that's it. I'm going to leave that there. That's pretty much all that I really had to say. I just really wanted to kind of make this lead up video and just try to explain myself even more. But for everyone's sake, again, stop the violence. Let's come together as again, people, as America, as humans, and let's do the right thing. Talk, have the discussions, have these debates, be open, be willing. And as well as just understand. Just understand. I appreciate everyone that watched the video yesterday. This video is going to be released 2 days after. And again, I hope you guys have yourself a blessed day.